After picking up all the stitches and turning the heel, it is time to knit. I will transfer all of my double pointed needles back to my circular needle, and I will make the heel section, which is my original starting point, my new starting point. I will transfer the 5 stitches of the heel section onto my circular needle. Then I will be transferring the other stitches from my double pointed needle onto my circular needle by knitting. The reason why I'm transferring my stitches back to the circular needle is that the double pointed needles are my markers for making a new starting point. This way, it is easier for me to count where the split should be. After knitting from my second double pointed needle to my circular needle, I have now transferred my first half of the sock onto my circular needle. Now I will knit the rest of my stitches from the double pointed needles to my circular needle. Now I have finished transferring all the stitches from my double pointed needles back onto my circular needle. Now I can continue knitting the foot area. The middle of the heel is the new starting point. I will knit 14 stitches, then I will knit 2 stitches together. Double check to make sure there are 8 stitches before you knit 2 stitches together. And now knit to the end of the left hand needle. Now knit the other side. Now I'm going to knit 7 stitches onto my right hand needle before I slip the first stitch and slip the second stitch and knit through the back. Double check to make sure I have 7 stitches on my right hand needle. Now I'm going to slip as if to knit the first stitch, then the second, and I will knit through the back. I will continue on knitting until all the stitches on my left hand needle are finished. Then I will knit 1 round without knitting 2 together. This is the round where I do not knit 2 together. I'm at the stitch before the previous knitting of the 2 stitches together. You can see that it's one overlapping the other. I'll just knit over it. I'll be doing the same thing for the other side. And on my next round, I will be knitting 2 stitches together on each side. And the round after that, I will be knitting over them. I will continue on with this pattern until I have 32 stitches left on my needle. I'm now knitting my last 2 stitches together. This is my last decrease for the sock. I now have 32 stitches on my circular needle. I will continue on knitting 19 more rounds, then I will start decreasing to shape my toe area. I have finished knitting 19 rounds. Now I'm just counting my stitches to make sure that I have 16 stitches on one side of the needle and 16 on the other, and I divide the 16 in half. I want to make sure that I do not knit 2 together with the 8th and the 9th stitch. This way I have the 8th and the 9th stitch as my guide when I have to start closing the toe section using the Kitchener stitch. After knitting 5 stitches, I still have 3 more stitches before the middle section. I will merge stitch number 6 and 7 together, leaving stitch number 8 not merge. I will knit stitch number 8 and knit stitch number 9, and I will merge stitch number 10 and 11. Now I will slip the first stitch and slip the second stitch, and I will knit through the back. I have decreased 2 stitches for this side of the sock, for the toe section, and on the other side I will do the same thing. After double checking to make sure where the middle section is, I will now knit 5 stitches. Then I will knit 2 stitches together. I will knit the next 2 stitches, and for the third stitch I will slip that stitch and slip the 4th stitch and knit 2 together through the back. For my next round, I will just knit. There will be no knitting 2 together, no decreases. I'm now working on my next round. I count in 5 stitches, and here is where I had knit 2 together on the previous row. I will just knit over them. I will do the same thing with the slip slip knit stitch below, and I will just knit over it. For this next row or round, I will count in 4 stitches, then I will knit 2 stitches together. Slip, slip, and knit through the back. I will do the same thing to the other side. I will count in 4 stitches, then I will start my decrease, knitting 2 together, then knit 2 stitches, then slip, slip, and knit through the back. On my next round, there will be no decreases. I just knit. And on the round after that, I will count in 3 stitches, then I will knit 2 together, knit 2 stitches, and slip, slip, knit. For this round, I have 20 stitches left on my needle, 10 on each side. I will start knitting 2 stitches in, then I will knit 2 stitches together. As you can see on my previous round, I did not knit 2 together. I did not do any decreases. But the round before that, I did knit 2 together. So now I will be doing my decrease for the last time. I will decrease 2 stitches on this side and 2 stitches on the other side, leaving 16 stitches in total on the circular needle. I have finished my toe decreases for both sides. Now I'm double checking to make sure there are 8 stitches on each needle. For this next round, I will knit and I will divide the 16 stitches I have on the circular needle into 4 sections. Each section will have 4 stitches. The reason I'm dividing this into 4 sections is that I am creating a new starting point. The new starting point is for me to start stitching using the Kitchener stitch to close up the sock. I now have moved the new starting point to a new position. I will now start knitting all the way to the end of this needle. Then I will start closing the sock using the Kitchener stitch.